When my parents bought land far, far away from our ancestral home, our house came with us. They lifted the entire structure of the concrete slab and put it down on the new land. But this time, it didn't have a slab on which to sit. What stayed behind was a cold, bare slab of concrete. Our new home had a dirt floor. Dust rose with every step, coating our skin, and the coughing never stopped. With that move, my father fought the battle of providing for our family. But my mom, she fought a different battle, our dirt floor. Every morning she would pour water to control the dust, but by afternoon, the dust would be right back. And when the concrete floor was poured shortly after, for us, it wasn't just a floor. It was relief, it was safety, and it was dignity. Decades later, I took my kids back, and that cold, bare slab of concrete was still there. And in silence, I stared at what it had become. Not a foundation, but a mirror. And in that mirror, a haunting question. What are we building today in the name of progress that will outlast us and leave nothing to remember that we were here? That is the question that brings me here. Today, I want to share why rethinking how we build is not only important to provide safe, affordable housing, but also bring an end to the housing industry's contribution to the current climate crisis. My name is Muthoni Karimi, the Chief Operating Officer at Earth-Enable, where we are committed to the innovation needed to reimagine housing in Africa, making living conditions healthier and environmentally friendly. Did you know that by July of every year, we have eaten through the planet's annual budget on renewable resources, from forests and water, minerals, and raw materials? For the rest of the year, we are living on debt, continually borrowing from a future that cannot pay us back. Most of you here will not feel it yet, but for millions, this is their daily reality. Take Marie Claire, for example, a mother raising her 2 little ones. Her biggest concern, their well-being. But something unseen in their home was making them sick. The dirt floor. I feel helpless, she told me, because our home that's supposed to be protecting them is making them sick. Now come with me, let's unpack some facts about that situation. Africa is home to the fastest growing population on Earth at 1.5 billion and counting. 60% are below the age of 25, the Gen Zs. And to house their dreams, we need to build 40,000 houses every day to catch up. Not every year, not every month, every single day. And here is the thing. More than half of those houses do not exist yet. Not the concrete, not the steel, not the blocks, none of it. Cement became our default, not by accident, but by design. Our colonial masters told us that the indigenous method of construction was backward. The global industry has made us believe that cement is modern. The pressures of urbanization has insisted that cement is necessary. Our architects and engineers, on the other hand, are trained on cement, not on the wisdom of the alternatives. And therefore, the cycle repeats itself at the expense of both people and planet. Cement is the second most used construction material on Earth after water. And here's the twist. If cement were a country, it would be the third largest polluter, contributing about 8% of carbon emissions, only after China and the United States. Why? Because for us to produce cement, we have to heat limestone to extreme temperatures, producing immense amount of carbon dioxide. Cement produces carbon emissions 3 times more than the entire aviation industry. You didn't expect that, right? With every slab, we release heat, we release carbon, and we release our future. Global warming is real from the human activities. Earth is currently warmer by 1.1 degrees centigrade since pre-industrial times. And we're already witnessing floods, drought, and destroyed livelihoods. 1.5 degrees centigrade, the tipping point, is only 8 years away. For most of us here, especially in East Africa, less than 2 election cycles. Beyond that point, our children will pay for it in hunger, chaos, and destruction. In 2024, floods swallowed villages in Kenya. And in 2020, and you'd remember, right in the middle of COVID, locusts flew through East Africa. Therefore, the message is very clear. Climate change carries no passport, and it is heading your way too. As we build Africa from the ground up, we get to decide, do we build wisely or do we destroy recklessly? That slab on my parents' land wasn't just concrete. It was a whisper from the past. You cannot build the future with the materials or the mindset of the past. Something has to change. Take Earth, for example, the most abundant material on Earth after water. Most see dirt, but dirt is just earth without a purpose. And in that dirt lies a solution in plain sight. From our commitment as a team at Earth Enable, we started with a question. What if homes drew from the earth itself, its wisdom, its materials, and then you put in innovation? Our every floor, every wall plaster is built with Earth's materials, Earth's knowledge, and then we layer in innovation. Our floors are made from compacted earth and marram, and then smoothened with a layer of clay. Our every wall plaster rises from the mud blocks, and then it is smoothened with a layer of clay, like this. Both the floors and the plasters are then sealed with a plant oil-based sealant that's been developed over years of research and field testing. Once this sealant dries, it hardens like resin, making the floors and the plasters waterproof and durable. They are 60% cheaper and 90% less carbon emissions. And the result so far, 50,000 families live in safe, healthy, affordable homes. We've created jobs, hired and trained over 600 masons, and wealth is staying in East African communities. Cement build homes that heat the planet. Other alternatives build homes that cool it. One choice fuels crisis. The other choice secures our future. You remember Marie Claire? Something about her situation changed. She received a new floor and a new wall plaster. No dirt, no cement, no chemicals. Just a healthy, dignified home. That transformation is life-changing. And if something this natural could transform a family's life this profoundly, then why do we keep building in ways that harm both people and planet? Unlike that slab on my parents' land, this floor and wall plaster on demolition return to the earth, leaving behind only memories of a healthier floor. This isn't about swapping materials. It's about listening to the old and from its wisdom, daring to build anew. To heal our future, we must build differently, drawing on earth and its ancestral wisdom, not just cement and steel. And the good news is, we are not the only one. Others across the world are proving that it can be done. From bamboo that bends but does not break, to straw bales that turn fields into walls of warmth, and hempcrete that turn carbon into the very walls of our homes. Prove that the future of housing can both be sustainable and deeply, deeply rooted in community. There's a Moroccan proverb that says, there is no beauty but the beauty of action. And this moment, here and now, calls for action. Not just to build homes, but to build futures that heal. And every one of you here today can do it. 1, you may not change the situation of the house that you live in today, but you can choose to build the next one as a house that heals, protects, and sustains. 2, stand behind what restores. With your voice, with your wallet, and with your influence, fuel change. So that every home built in the future is a step towards renewal and not depletion. 3, touch the earth beneath your feet, because when you do, it stops being dirt and it becomes possibilities of what we can achieve. The future of housing is in your hands and beneath your feet. From a slab that grew nothing to homes that protect people and planet. From homes that harm to homes that heal. From soil to soul. Thank you.